magic. There are no checkouts or cash registers. You just scan yourself in, grab your food, put it in your bag, and walk out. They have these little scales on the shelves so they know when you take an item off the shelf and put it back. And they also have cameras above you so they can see which items you bought. Once you leave the store, you charge for the items you bought. This store is like magic.
Let's visit Amazon Fresh Store in Canary Wharf. You will need to use a code from your Amazon app, scan before you come in. Going in a group, only one of you have to scan the code. Then the person who scanned the code will be the person who have to pay. The item in store are quite similar to a Tesco Express. The difference is that there will be a lot of sensors above your head, and when you finish, you just need to walk out. After about 30 minutes, the app will notify you how much time and money you spent. Let's visit Amazon Fresh Store in Canary Wharf. You will need to use a code from your Amazon app, scan before you come in. Only one of you have to scan the code. Then the person who scanned the code will be the person who has to pay. The item in store are quite similar to a Tesco Express. The difference is that there will be a lot of sensors above your head, and when you finish, you just need to walk out. After about 30 minutes, and will notify you how much time and money you spent.
Okay guys, let's go to the very first Amazon Fresh store. It just opened yesterday and it's in the Healy Broadway area. I went right in the morning, which was such a good idea because there was no long lineups like what I've been seeing in the videos. First thing you do when you walk in is scan your barcode, and then to the left there's like a little sanitization station with like masks and gloves, which I thought was really nice. And don't worry about not knowing what to do. There's signs everywhere and they give you a little rundown before you come in. There's lots of cool things here, so let me show you my favorite. First up we have the flower station, and then right next to that is the bakery. So many different kinds of pastries, cookies, and fresh bread. And then they have their very own self-serve coffee machine. Grab it on the way out though, so you don't have to carry it around while you're shopping. My favorite part was of course the little liquor section that was hidden away in the back corner. There's someone stationed there at all times just so they can check everyone's IDs. And this is what it looks like. Not a huge variety, but it has everything you need. The concept is actually pretty cool. You just grab whatever you need and leave. Brett Sinclair said that they've taken the thrill out of shoplifting, and I've just been having a laugh ever since. It's honestly a trip. But for real, it was a great experience. The staff was friendly and helpful, and the convenience is insane. Okay guys, this is the very first Amazon Fresh store in the UK. It just opened yesterday and it's in the Healy Broadway area. I went right in the morning, which was such a good idea because there was no long lineups like what I've been seeing in the videos. First thing you do when you walk in is scan your barcode, and then to the left there's like a little sanitization station with like masks and gloves, which I thought was really nice. And don't worry about not knowing what to do. There's signs everywhere and they give you a little rundown before you come in. There's lots of cool things here, so let me show you my favorite. First up we have the flower station, and then right next to that is the bakery. So many different kinds of pastries, cookies, and fresh bread. And then they have their very own self-serve coffee machine. Grab it on the way out though, so you don't have to carry it around while you're shopping. My favorite part was of course the little liquor section that was hidden away in the back corner. There's someone stationed there at all times just so they can check everyone's IDs. And this is what it looks like. Not a huge variety, but it has everything you need. The concept is actually pretty cool. You just grab whatever you need and leave. Brett Sinclair said that they've taken the thrill out of shoplifting, and I've just been having a laugh ever since. It's honestly a trip. But for real, it was a great experience. The staff was friendly and helpful, and the convenience is insane.
Operate. Shalom. We want to give all praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, men in truth on down, garnish truth and knowledge, and the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahshua put in the spirit of the elders and apostles, men in truth on down, garnish truth and knowledge, and call holy Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashem Rakakadash. Give all praise Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Rakakadash. That was Amazon Fresh relating to supermarkets, I believe in UK. I played it twice just in case, it didn't go through as far as visually, being clear, just in case. But that was videos relating to that. Amazon, you go in there pretty much, palm scan, boom, go in, pick out what you want, leave, because you already have to be part of that, relating to it's pretty much an app, as they say, be part of that. But it's leading to, we know certain things. I'm going to get a word. This word is called normalization. What does it mean by normalization? Normalization refers to a process that makes something more normal or regular. So a specific that tries to pretty much desensitize, which makes less, or where it becomes normalized, and that goes to that precondition. That becomes also goes to the desensitization. So that's what that goes to, man. And making something that wouldn't be specifically normal, but they normalize it by forms of gradualism, man. Incremental gradualism condition. That's part of that condition, man. To get you acclimated, get you used to. That's what that is. Let's read it again. Normalization refers to a process that makes something more normal or regular. Most common, it refers to normalization, sociology, study of social aspects, or social normalization, the process through which ideas and behaviors that may fall outside of social norms come to be regarded as normal. So let's focus on that last one. The ideas to do something that goes to devising and also ultimately implementing that. And then you have the behaviors, man. So through those ideas, the behaviors, man, the traits and characteristics, man. Now, things that would fall outside of it, that would, like I was saying, that wouldn't be, as it states, fall outside where the socially norm will become normal, man. And that's through that process. That's through that process of conditioning you, desensitizing you, and gradually, incrementally building you up to acclimate, get you acclimated, get used to, and pretty much normalizing it, man. So that's what that goes to, man. And for example, this is an idea in the process where, from a behavioral aspect, this is going to be a normal thing, man. And this relates to, as one of the men in the truth, they did a video relating to the future of supermarkets. So this is the new, idea, idea relating to how they want to do certain things futurely, man. And so this process is going to be where it's going to become normal, man. And that's what that is, man. And that leads to something else. We'll get some scriptures, Ideally, it looks kind of cool, from a carnal aspect, but ultimately it's a bigger something behind that specifics, man. So that's what that is, man. Pretty much the ideas of doing certain things and getting these people acclimated through certain behaviors to normalize them so they can, where it becomes normal, man. All right, let's get out some scriptures. Shalom. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. Second Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. That's the carnal counterpart on earth. For we are not ignorant of his devices. That goes to, what's the word, methodia, which goes to pretty much the method relating to his devices or schemes, man, in Greek. So relating to the methods, the methods he's gonna use to implement and devise certain things relating to his devices. which goes to stratagem, schemes, and ploys and schemes and ploys and schemes, man. Let's get another one. Let's go to Proverbs real quick. Proverbs 24:8. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a what? Mischievous person, man. So he that deviseth, that goes to the planning and the scheming, man, so he can ultimately implement, man. And mischievous is a person who's out to do harm, man. Their intent is harmful and not in a playful way, man. So that goes to that mischievous person, man. And that relates to the wicked. That's the ones in power, man. Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. They cover the face of judge. If it's not he, then who is, man? Job 9:24. So that's the one in position of power, man. Go to we'll go to Psalm 64 real quick. Psalm 64:8. Psalm 64:8. So they that shall make their tongues fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. So sometimes what they say, sometimes what they don't say can reveal their true intent, man. Their body language, everything, so it's not always verbal. So sometimes it's nonverbal. So basically in this case is what they say, man, and what what is being revealed directly, indirectly, relating to their wording, their verbiage they use, man. Whether directly, indirectly. Sometimes they use the thing pre-predictive programming, which is a form of telling you by using certain avenues such as movies, entertainment, to tell you directly, indirectly what they really plan to do. But it goes over to people's head because it's guised or disguised as a form of entertainment, so people are not paying attention. They also know people are not paying attention. So that's the dumbing down. That's the precondition. That's different things, man. That put pretty much they know that those things put the people to sleep. You know what I mean? They've been doing that for decades and centuries, man. Relating to movies and different things, man. Just look at your movies. Just look at your form of entertainment, different things. All right, continue on. See if I can get it from another version. This is the LED. This is the Lexham English Bible, which is the LED. The Lexham English Bible. Number 8. And they who would cause him to stumble, their own tongue will be against them. So they pretty much what they say, they stumbling and pretty much on their word and their verbiage, which ultimately reveals really what what they're trying to say. Read again. And he who would cause them to stumble their own tongues and will be against them. And all that gaze on them will shake. So when they look upon them, they'll look at them with like a certain look, man. And they'll flee from them, man. And that's ultimately how the wicked gonna be. You know what I mean? Let's go to Revelations. Go to Revelations. Number 11, and beheld another beast came up out of the earth, had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So the lamb was docile, but with the dragon having that draconic authority, he's exuding that power, man. So he's coming in a docile form, but he's aggressively with his tone, man. Go to Psalms, let me see, Psalms 55 real quick. So they optically trying to be nice, you know, coming nice, but their true intent is totally opposite of that, man. Psalms 55. I'm going to start at 20. And he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. And he had broken his covenant, which is his oath, his treaty, his bond that he made, whether verbally or through policy. 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So he spoke with the smooth words. Remember, he came like the lamb, speaking, being nice, being friendly. But war was in his heart, which is his mind. But his mind was contrary to that, because he had different intentions, man. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So they were drawn swords. So he's out for blood, man. So he's coming optically nice, you know what I mean, but his in mannerism, but in his mind he has really a deeper intent, man. That's where that goes. All right, let's go get back where I was at. Revelations. All right, beheld another beast came coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. He exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Because that first beast was down for a season, for a time and season, power given. So and that goes to the revised Rome being being healed up. You know what I mean? It's just continuing from what the ancient pagan Rome through the new emergence of the revised Rome. This is continuation. So the power passed on, so he can exercise relating to that authority to the second beast, so they can continue to fulfill their purpose, man. And to exercise is basically pretty much to do and implement, according to the power that's given to him. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused all the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, because that wound is healed. That's why healed back. So it just under a new supervision and management of a new emergence, which will be America, which will come out of that 7th to make that 8th, man, out of Great Britain, because Great Britain is what? The mother of America, man. So America will continue that power passed down, man. Okay. Number 13. And he doeth great wonders. And that wonders goes to pretty much relating to that technology, part of that sorcery and witchcraft. Remember, he's trying to be like the Most High, as Scripture says, man. How he doing that is through his technology. He's doing it artificially through his technology to be godlike. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And the men say, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? Seeing these him having that power, man. And that's also going to lead to the deception relating to the people, man. So they in awe what they see, man. The men on earth, man. 14, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which are those signs and the powers that he's going to exude and exercise and implement and do, man. Which he had power to do in sight of the beast, because it was given to him, man, through what? From the first. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live, man. So that image goes what? To the system, man. That system is the image is that system, man. We'll go over it. The mark relates to a physical, something that's physical. Charagma, which is a stamp or imprint. The Karax, which relates to a palisade or stake, something that's going to use as an insertion to be injected into the skin, puncture, man. Think of a vampire stake, when you puncture a stake into a vampire in their heart. So it's something that's going to be punctured in, man, inserted in, man, and something coming out of that, you know what I mean? And the image, the same with the image related to the system. Then the mark and the beast relates to the beast represents America, EU, NATO. You know what I mean? So the mark, taking that mark, worshiping the image, which is part of the system, relating to the beast system, man. That's what that is. And 666 would be, I believe, stigma, which means a stamp or cutting. Really relating to the barcode, which you see on purchases, on items that you see, that you buy. You see, so you have the barcode and use a device to scan it. It goes beep beep. So that's that barcode relating to pos stigma or something. The barcode. So that's 666. All right. Pretty much when you scan it, it identifies what that particular item is. In this case, relating to that mark, it's going to identify certain things in characters relating to what's on specifically. For example, if it's it'll show certain things on relating to that specific product, that code of product, man, which will be in this case a human person, man. It'll show the history of their medical history, personal information, etc. That's what that goes to. right, let's go back. Shalak on the rambling. Go back to where I was at. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from the heaven on the earth in sight of men. So that's that goes to that technology and his wonders of that technology. So he's going to use that, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. So that technology is part of that, man. You remember, he's trying to be like a god, man, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which he had the wound by the sword and did live. 15, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak. He comes like the lamb, but he speaks with authority as a dragon with a draconic extreme measure, man, in a matter of speaking, man. And cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast shall be exterminated, terminated, man. So you have to comply. That goes to compliance, man. If you don't comply to it, you either comply or else, man. That's what that is. Number 16. And he causeth all both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond. That relates to all denominations, man, relating to the diversity and classifications of nations of people. And within those nations are diversities of people, man. And pretty much everybody from all walks of life, all backgrounds, man. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or forehead. So it goes either left or either right, or the forehead. Forehead can relating to brain chip, which would be the neural link. That could be an example of that. That's for, special cases, for people with special cases. But for the most part, for the general entirety, it would be either the left or the right. And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you got to have, without this, you're not going to be able to continue to function in society, specifically without having this specific device, you know what I mean? So you're not going to be able to buy or sell or do anything, without participate, because one day the Federal Reserve notes, which is known as that paper money, it's not going to exist, man. It's not going to be here forever, man. It's only here for a time and season, man. So it's going to be a change or a transition. Here's the wisdom. Let him have the understanding that count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and the number is 603 score 6. So it goes to what I was saying with the stigma. That relates to the barcode. The identification, pretty much like the product of identification through that barcode, man. So it can identify what it is, what it's scanning, what it is, and what information is on that, man. And that's pretty much what that is. I believe it's Spaze stigma, you know what I mean? Revelations of, go to 14. There's a consequence, you know what I mean, relating to this. If you participate in this, man, And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture. So it's pure wrath and indignation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua, man. His indignation relates to our righteous anger, man. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and presence of the Lamb. So that's that altar on earth, which a good portion of the people on earth are going to participate in. That's called the 2/3. Zechariah 13:8, 2/3 will be cut off in the land and 1/3 will be left therein. So that 2/3 is going to be pretty much the rams, the goats. They're going to be as an offering for that burning, man, for that offering or sacrifice, offering as a sacrifice to be burned in that altar on earth, man. Because that's what that is, man. Through the common courtesy of the nuclear missiles relating to go to Revelations 9 and 12, 11 and 14. The first woe is past, and the second and third thereafter. 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and the third woe cometh quickly, man. So that's Revelations 9 and 12, Revelations 11 and 14, man. So that's a common courtesy of what? World War III. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Part of that sudden destruction is those missiles, man. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, man. Shall be like when they say peace and safety and the sudden destruction like a woman in travail relating to the bird pangs, man. Because it's gonna come fast, it's gonna hit hard, it's gonna come unexpectedly, man. Pretty much Yahweh Bashim Yashah form of spiritual blitzkrieg, man. That blitzkrieg goes to something that is it hits fast on something that's semi not ready, man, or semi relaxed position, man, relating to these people, man. All right. The scripture talks about talking about not being in the dark, you know what I mean, being awake, you know what I mean. That means is being spiritually, being aware of what's going on, man. Ephesians 5:15 and 16. Be circumspect, not as fools, as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil, man. So being circumspect, being paying attention, seeing circly, or seeing, you know, its entirety around, man, what's going on. That's what that is. Read it again. The saint shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, the presence of the land, the angels, and Yahweh Bashim Yashah. The smoke of their torment ascending up forever and ever, that and they have no rest nor day or night, which worship the image, which worship the beast and the image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So receiving the mark, worshiping the image, pretty much goes to idolatry, like an idol, relating to the beast system, man. All right, let's get a few over. Let me see. Go to Revelations 16 and 2, I think. Let's try that. 16 and 2. These relate to the 7 vials. 7's completion. And the first went and poured out the vials upon the earth angel, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword. Noisome, because relating to the grievous pain, you know what I mean, relating to the people, man. Fell a noisome and grievous sword upon men that had the mark of the beast, upon them which worship his image, man. So the ones, that's another consequence. So that vow is going to be related to that judgment upon ones who took, relating to that that specific device, which is that mark, man. and a grievous, painful, noisome, and grievous, painful sword, man. Pretty much very cancerous, looking, man. It's going to look nasty, man, in a matter of speaking, man. We go to Revelations 19, I think. I think it's 19. And 2. And the true and righteous are his judgments, and he have judged the great whore, which is Babylon, aka America, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. How she corrupted? Through her Western philosophy, man, her policies, her ways, which corrupted pretty much the Western philosophy, her ways, her customs, forcefully passing on these other nations, where they drank and became intoxicated. Scripture talks about the nations become mad in Jeremiah. So they've been drunken off that wine. They realizing it wasn't what they thought it would be. So the nations are mad. So pretty much that intoxicated hangover, man. They became hangover over what? The policies, man. The Western philosophies passing down these other nations, making them follow it, man. The Western cultures, man. Look at these other countries, man, trying to be like the West, man, because they indoctrinated policies that go really against their traditions, man. For example, the Middle East, man. They're more traditional, but those policies were passed to the East and the Middle East and the Far East, China and all them, because they pretty much they adopted the Western philosophy. You know what I mean? They realized, you know, it wasn't what it's supposed to be, man. So that goes to the philosophies, man. The ideologies and policies, man. All right, the true and righteous are his judgments, and he have judged the great whore, who did corrupt the earth with her fornication. And that goes to the policies relating to the Western philosophies, and have avenged the blood of the servants at our hand, man. The prophets is what that is. Shalak. Go to 20. A good example of that, the Western philosophy being pushed. If other countries don't comply, sanctions, sometimes war on those countries, man, to take what they want, man. You know what I mean? Revelation 6 and 4, that relating to that great sword, man. Edom, the red horse. Edom, the red horse. Let me get it. Shalom. It's Revelation 6 and 4, man. There went out another horse that was red. That's Edom, man. And power was given to him, because the earth has been given to him in his hands. Given to him, and that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. How he took peace from the earth? By using the sword, man. And that they should kill one another, and there was given into him a great sword. So that great sword is his blessing, man. You know, he uses that, and he uses it very well, man. That's part of how he gains access and resources of different things, you know, by using that sword, because and by thy sword thou shalt live, right, to Genesis. So that's that sword, man. The hammer of the earth. A hammer can be a tool, an instrument of cruelty, man. So the hammer of the earth is military might. That's part of that sword, man. To pretty much dictate order, man, globally, man. All right. Let's go to Revelations 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. So some are going to be beheaded for the faith, man. That's the part of that persecution. Some are going to be put in prison. Relating to Revelations 2 and 10. Some, fear not what thou going to suffer. You know, some are going to be put into prison 10 days. But endure, and you shall receive a crown of life. So that's Revelations 2 and 10. I'll get it. So some are going to be put in prison. Some are going to be beheaded. That's persecution. That's the hour of trial. Another word, or the hour of temptation, man. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given into them. And I saw the souls that were beheaded for the witness, testimony of Hamashiach, Yahushua, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark. So they haven't received the mark nor worshiped the image of the beast upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. So the ones that didn't receive that, man, 7,000, 7 for completion. Revelations 3, right? Let me get it. Let me see something for a minute, though. I get it. Revelations, let's go to Revelations, I'll get 2 and 10 first, and I'll go to 3 and 10. Fear none of those things. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Scripture talks about, for the Lord gives us not the spirit of fear, but a love, power, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1 and 7. Behold, the devil, which is the carnal counterpart on earth. Revelations 12 and 12. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil's going to come in great wrath, knowing but he has a short time, relating to what he needs to do. 1 Peter 5 and 8. The devil, your adversary, is like a roaring lion waiting whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5 and 8. So he's going. He's going to come like Isaiah 59:19, like that flood, man. So he's going to come in a certain manner because he has certain things to fulfill on the left-hand side, man. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison. So people are going to go in prison. Some are going to be beheaded, as I said, man. That ye may be tried. Tried goes to being tested. Tested goes to be tried. Tried goes to tested goes to be tried. Tried goes to be tested. And ye shall have tribulation, man. So tribulation goes that this is part of the hour of that trial in tribulation. 10 days, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, man. So you're going to be given that crown of life, man. If you endure unto the end, man. Those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. Let's go to 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Patience goes to tolerant, enduring, and suffering, man. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation, or another one, the hour of that trial. Trial goes to that temptation, man. Part of our temptation may be in prison, maybe getting beheaded, maybe going through all types of other adversities, man. Different measures of it, man. You know, so our temptation, man. Allah Jacob's trouble never since Jacob's trouble, but ye shall be saved. Jeremiah 30:7, man. So Jacob's trouble is part also the hour of temptation as well, man. A variety of things, man. Famine, World War III, relating to Revelations 13. That's the ultimate hour of temptation, and a variety of other things according to prophecy. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. That's all the inhabitants of the world, man. To try them that dwell upon the earth. So everybody, rich, poor, homeless, bond, free, everybody, man. Going to Revelations 13 and 17? 16, around that area. So all going to be tried on the world. No one's going to be exempt from this. From a rich celebrity to a poor Jake or a poor one of the other nations on earth. All going to be tried that are inhabited, are the inhabitants of the earth, man. That dwell upon the earth. They're going to be tried. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, all going to be tried relating to this, man. Go to go to Revelations 21. I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. That's the men. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God. So ultimately the nation of Israel, start with the man. The man is the wife of the Lord. Then it follows the woman. And ultimately, the nation of Israel, man. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, no more sorrow, no crying, neither shall there be any more pain. And for all the former things are passed away. So ultimately, when it's all said and done, all these things that we had to experience on earth is going to be what it is, a memory, man. So he's going to take away all relating to death, sorrow, crying, pain, man. So certain things have to be played out in prophecy as it states, man. Israel has to be in the lowest state. You know what I mean? This is part of prophecy, man. You know, and really, the balance of it, Israel had to know evil. So you want to know evil, you had to experience being evil, man. Being in that low state, being wicked, man. And that gives you that balance of understanding, man. Because once you understand evil, then you understand the good. Then you have the balance of both knowledge, man. You know. So that's what had to happen for Israel. This is, part of that, man. Even though they supposed to obey the Lord, Shalach for going off. Even though they supposed to obey the Lord from the start, they wasn't meant to obey the Lord, because they had to fulfill prophecy as it states in the scriptures, man. They supposed to obey, but they wouldn't obey because they had to be in a certain state to play out prophecy, man. They always had to obey. They always had to obey from the beginning. But the reality is they wouldn't, because certain things had to be played out according like it's supposed to be. That knowledge of good and evil, you had to experience it, man. So Israel had to experience that evil, and they also had to experience ultimately the good, which when they'll be in righteousness, ultimately when the Lord comes, to redeem them. Redeem them means to bring them back. And that being said, I hope this helps. This is Zayah, which is Wolf. It's relating to this. Hope it helps in some way. I want to give all praise Yahweh Bashim Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. This is Zayah Wolf. Shalom. Thanks.